Yesterday, we found out that we were having a boy. And, I know Gordon really wanted a girl. And at first, I didn't really mind too much what we had. And I didn't mind if it would be another boy at all. But I think throughout hoping that it was a girl so much, I kind of ended up really hoping that it was a girl. And this morning, I woke up feeling really sad that it ended up not being what we wanted necessarily, just because I guess I wanted a chance to spoil a girl. I think sometimes as future moms or moms that are gonna have another baby, if it's not a girl already, you just imagine having that mother-daughter relationship that you've always wanted or have. And in my specific case, because Valerian's pregnancy was very hard on me, I had a lot of health issues with him. We decided that we didn't want more than 2 children. So with this one being a boy, it's kind of like we're done. Yesterday at my appointment, I had asked the ultrasound technician if people were ever disappointed. And she told me a couple stories. And, there were some that were really hardcore, but I would never not love my own child just because they weren't necessarily what I had wanted. But I just feel like nobody shares this part. Potentially because it can come across as selfish, I think. But there's a huge side, I think, to pregnancy and parenthood that not many people want to share because of the backlash that I think it could get. But I wanted to come on here and share because there are people that feel this way. And when I was pregnant with Valerian, actually when I had Valerian, there was a lot of stuff that I was going through that I felt like I was going through by myself. And it put me into a major depression because I knew that if I told people what I was feeling, I would probably be considered a worthless mom or, just all kinds of awful names, and I wouldn't be treated with respect. So, as I'm trying to understand my own feelings, I wanted to make this video because I'm sure there are people who feel like me, and I could potentially have a girl at 3, but I'm just not sure I want to go through that personally. And that's my choice, and that's okay. I am just not a person who loves being pregnant. And sometimes I hate that because Because if I could try again, maybe I would. There are just a lot of factors that plays into someone's life on when they choose how many children they would want. I mean, if something should happen by accident or anything like that, just because it didn't fit into our lifestyle doesn't mean that we wouldn't make it work. But because this was something that was planned and it just ended up not being what I had ultimately hoped for, it is hard a little bit. And I am very happy because the baby is very healthy. I'm actually healthy so far. I'm scared because now we're going into the stages where things can happen, but I'm aware because I dealt with it in my first pregnancy. But I also didn't realize how much I actually may have wanted something. There are plenty of other options. Like, I love the idea of adoption and or fostering, things like that. But it's not something that we can both agree with right now. So it's just a bit hard. And I don't want to feel this way. I'm just a little sad because yeah, again, I just didn't realize that it's like almost when you expect it to happen and then it doesn't, and then you're just kind of like, what? It didn't happen. So I just want to come up here and tell you that it's okay to feel how you feel. Everybody feels differently. But I also wanted to tell you that if you have gone through this or are going through this, that you're not alone. There are people that go through this. I think it's good to try and get all your feelings out and try to understand why you feel sad and try to help yourself. Because if you never, feel complete or understand why you felt the way you felt, then you're kind of ultimately just like, you will always be wondering, and you'll never feel whole or like ready to move on. So again, I think for me, I am optimistic because I said I was open. If we didn't have a girl this time, that I would be open one more time to try again. But I also, but I'm also very much open to the idea of adoption and or fostering. I want everyone to understand that I'm not complaining or saying I'm disappointed that it's a boy. I'm just saying that we all have our feelings, and if you expected something for me, if I really thought, because of how different this pregnancy was, that it would be a girl. So I was so set on it that if those expectations aren't met, you are going to feel some type of way. And in my case, it's confusion and sadness together. But I am also extremely happy, again, that the baby is healthy and everything is fine and I'm fine. And I'm happy for Valerian. I'm excited to see him have a relationship like my brothers have. Always there for each other and always backing each other up. So I am happy. But I also need to go through what I'm feeling and help myself be better mentally, emotionally, and everything so that I can truly be happy. This is me sharing my honest and raw feelings with you. If anybody has any advice, I'm willing to hear it. If anybody has, if anybody's gone through this, I would love to read about it. Sometimes it's hard to look stuff up on the internet because, when people post anywhere about anything, you want to see all the good before you see any of the bad, if it's ever talked about. And this isn't necessarily, again, bad. This is just something that people go through. But it's still not accepted enough to talk about freely. And I want to change that because it's real and honest. So, thank you for listening to me and hearing me out. Sometimes that's all someone needs. And then it helps them figure it out on their own as to why they're feeling this way. So, thank you.